How about if I make, oh, there it is. I'm just going to make you the host. Perfect. All right. Hello, everyone. Glad to see that you could all make it today. One of the things we're going to talk about in this general meeting is Laird has a few updates for his propulsion team. I'm not sure if Becca has any updates for her respective teams. One thing I wanted to bring up was I had posted a when to meet link in the Slack. And this was to gauge availability for this upcoming quarter because it had looked like we weren't able to get as much participation in these Monday meetings. Some people had to leave early or couldn't make it at all. Some people have class. And so I posted this when to meet to see when people would be best available, when we could get the most participation for our general meeting and our little like unit MATLAB, or sorry, not MATLAB, SolidWorks meetings. And we have 9 people who have filled it out. If you haven't filled it out and well, if you're here and you haven't filled it out, please fill that out at some point. And this doesn't have to be a combined meeting. If it works out that we could have a half an hour general meeting at some point during the week and then set aside an hour, hour and a half at a different time for the SolidWorks or MATLAB, whatever thing we may be doing at that time, then we can do that as well. At the moment, the best times that work for the most people is Wednesdays 11 to noon, and then Fridays 5 to 6. And it's unfortunate because Peter can't make either of those. And then the next ones are, also Wednesday 6 to 7. That's where 8 out of the 9 people can make it as well. So if once a few more people fill that out, then we can gauge a better time, because Mondays 6 to 8 seemed like they weren't working for everyone else. If there's specific time conflicts, like another club that you guys want to go to, then you could put that down in the general Slack chat, so we can cross-reference those requests as well. Where did I post that? All right, and for those in Arrow 121, you may be seeing myself and I think Jake said he was available. We're going to be doing a quick little presentation to the Arrow 121 class next week. So if there's any of your friends that are interested in RC planes or getting involved in a aerospace specific club, then go ahead and then spread the word that they should be paying attention at the beginning of class next week. And with that, I'll hand it off to Laird.
All right, yeah. So I've got a couple updates. The first is that I am still working on scoring analysis, and it's really fun. No, but I had a meeting with Jared this weekend, and got kind of a better sense of more of the specifics of what I need to be doing. So I'm going to be working on that this week. Hopefully next time I'll have actual like results to talk about from it. And then the other announcement is that I have scheduled propulsion meetings. I've stolen that Wednesday 6 to 7's time slot, Johnny, for propulsion meetings.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
6 to 7 seemed familiar when I was saying it.
yeah. If it ends up that that's like the only time slot that
We
works
could
for general,
fight.
we could fight. We could have a duel.
See who
Technically,
shows up to mine versus yours.
Yeah.
Technically, we can't because of COVID. If you can have like we can smash it out. We can do a Smash Bro thing.
We could.
Or you
Yeah.
could build planes and fly them at each other and see who wins.
Wouldn't mass
What's up?
couldn't you have a duel as long as you're wearing masks?
Well, you can have a duel because duels you're 10 feet apart. So
Yes.
that's fine. It's fine.
Aren't you
Social
supposed to
distancing.
walk away from each other though?
It's true. You'd have to start 6 feet and then end 10
Oh.
for like 20 feet or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it depends on.
You became muted halfway through that sentence.
Oh, oops. I was just saying that it depends on.
I also did the same thing again. So apologies for having you repeat that 3 times, but
You can turn off video if it helps the audio quality.
it's true.
So
All right, but yeah, in that meeting, it's just this week we're just going to be going over like basically what the plan is for propulsion this year, a couple of the research projects that we're doing. Eddie, you had talked about wanting to lead one of those projects, and so we'll kind of talk about that, see if anyone's interested in joining that kind of sub-team. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for Wednesday. So hope to see you guys there.
I guess I can share a little bit of what I've been working on. If you notice, I posted a couple things in the sensor design channel. A couple readings. They're pretty base level because I'm not in aerospace, and so some of the stuff I need, like, it's written to like high schoolers or like grade schoolers, and so it's kind of funny, but it is useful. I found it to be. So I was reading through that, and so I think like baseline, we probably want, like I found out about elliptical curves being good for like decreasing induced drag and jazz. And then you want a blunt cone nose when you're at subsonic speeds. So I found out all that. That'll influence our sensor design because we think it's kind of going to look like a rocket. So the sensor is like a little box, kind of, and it's going to have blinking lights on it. We're going to store it inside the plane, release it on a tow line coming out from the plane, and then bring it back in. But while it's out the plane, we want to decrease drag and make it aerodynamically stable. So I think it's going to look kind of like a horizontal rocket, and the fins are for stability, and then rounding the nose cone for drag reduction. And then I tried to find out some like drag coefficients and relationships between like different sizes and stuff in drag, but that didn't work out so well. I can share what I was working with. Okay, can you all see this fun stuff? Okay, cool, yeah. So I took like a third of the sensor, and then, so that's why it's all cut here. And so I'm analyzing the fluid flow around, and this is an ANSYS computational fluid dynamics, CFD. So this was like the velocity contours that I was finding. And so like you can see the stagnation point up here and the wake back here. And so this looks all good. This makes sense. And then pressure is kind of similar. We can look at pressure. Again, that stagnation point is going to have high pressure. So this looks all right. Visuals are making sense, but I go to, where can I read out? I'm not sure where it went, but I was looking at the drag force and the drag coefficient, and it said it was like 0 practically. So I've got to work on that. I don't know why that's going on, but
Define 0 practically.
it's like the drag force was like 0.001 or so, like pounds.
I mean,
Drag
that's like
coefficient.
not a ridiculous CD naught. Like CD naughts are usually in the point.
No, that was the
something or
force.
0.00 something. Okay.
That was the force. So I'm expecting the drag coefficient to be, well, for an airfoil, it's going to be like 0.09, right? So this is not airfoil. So I don't know, like 0.1 to 0.2.
Well, airfoils have to generate a lot of lift though, and this doesn't.
Well, but the CD naught for an airfoil is really low. The induced CD is higher.
Well, even like a symmetric airfoil.
Yeah, at
Just
this
like
point, I don't know if we're
streamlining.
talking CD at speed or CD naught.
Well, for a non-lifting body, it should be the same.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I'm not saying it's not broken. I'm just providing reference.
Okay, I don't
Also,
remember the numbers, but it was silly low. Sometimes it was like e to the -5 order. I was like, no.
Becca, how big is this? Like,
This one's
how
the
big is this?
minimum. So I
Okay.
did 4x1, but I didn't count the nose cone in it. So I like counted it as smaller, you know, the most conservative way. But yeah, that's.
Have you tried doing it with like a much bigger sensor and it's also really
No.
low?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Thinking if I can't get this to converge, because I had to take out the tail line because the mesh wasn't, the mesh had really bad skewness. So all the like elements were all wonky shapes and aspect ratios. And so I took out that and then I got the mesh to look good. So I'm thinking, yeah, that took a while. After this, if I can't make any sense of this, I might just do an even simpler shape, just like a cylinder, and see what that gives. So it's an ordeal. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff we can be talking about in sensor design. I don't know when I'm gonna set up the first meeting because I'm getting hit pretty hard by school right now. But you can read up on all the backgrounds with the links that I sent, and if you have any comments or if you're interested, hit me up and we can talk about it. I don't know, I don't think I want to teach anybody like this software actually, because it relies on a lot of expertise from different classes. So I don't know about teaching people to operate the software without understanding it. But that's something we use. And once you take your classes, you can use that too. So, and we can use it to inform all of our other decisions, like, because I think we can make mock-ups and stuff and do some physical testing. And we can solid model the rockets and the sensors and stuff like that. So there's a lot to do if you're interested. That's what
Do arrows learn this program? Jake and Laird?
I think in 302 we will not learn this program, but like be given, this is what CFD does.
So I took a free online class for this if you're interested and you have taken the classes. It goes through FEA and CFD, so finite element analysis and computational fluid dynamics. And I could like put the link to that in the chat, and that's free. So I did that, but it took like a long time. And it takes like a CE 204, CE 207. It even, like the first week has a bit of heat transfer, and you can just like BS your way through that, because I took it, I went through that week, like the week before I started my heat transfer class. So I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, but, and then fluids, I guess y'all's fluids are different, but you know, fluid stuff. It took my fluids 1 and fluids 2. So you totally take that on your own time.
What is it through?
This one's ANSYS. I think you can do some in SolidWorks, and I think the school likes Abacus. I think Abacus is really bad, because I tried to use it once. But yeah, so the class I was talking about is in ANSYS, which is this one.
Okay, so ANSYS actually puts it on.
No.
It was
The class is through ANSYS. ANSYS. Oh no. Okay.
No, but the class teaches ANSYS. But
Class.
the class was edX, right, Becca?
I mean, that's one way to pronounce it.
How would you pronounce it?
I would pronounce it EDX, but
Okay,
nobody's ever said it out loud.
fair enough.
So that's all.
So, what's settled at this point about like what overall shape this has to fit into the plan?
Laird's the holdup.
Yeah, so I'm being slow because I've never done scoring analysis before.
It's also the most complicated thing we have, and right now you're really the person working on it, and I think that was a really bad idea, and I think that there need to be more people working on it. But
Help would be appreciated. Yeah, I mean, basically what I am doing has far fewer pretty pictures, unfortunately, yet, and also just in general. But I can pull that up if I can find it in my folders.
so Laird, through scoring analysis, is trying to find out what kind of plane we're trying to build.
Becca, can I share my screen?
How?
Security.
It's at the bottom in share screen, the little arrow. You press that and say allow participants to share.
Okay. Everybody, all the time. Yeah, okay.
Hey, there you go. Okay. I guess I will just share my whole screen. So basically what I'm doing right now is I am looking through a lot of the codes from last year and working on modifying them to work for this year. In theory, I should, of course, MATLAB's going to take a minute to load.
Should we make a DBF Minecraft server?
We absolutely should.
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so ideally we should be able to get a graph like this. Oh, it's going to take a second. Which this is basically a constraint diagram where this line here, this red line, is the takeoff constraint. And then these lines here are lap time constraints. This isn't actually the one I was going for, though. Hold on. Scoring diagram. Here we go. Indeed.
Come on, Laird's
This
computer,
is-
you can do it.
Yeah, seriously. It's trying its best, man. This is what I'm working towards. On the x-axis here, we have wing loading, which is basically how much weight the plane has per square foot of wing area. And then on the y-axis, we have power to weight ratio, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's how much power the propulsion system generates
I have a
for
question.
every pound of the plane that you have. Yeah, what's up?
Does wing loading, you said weight per area of wing. How does it
Indeed.
take into account the load factor?
It does not. The wing loading in this instance is unrelated to that. Essentially, what we're doing is, this is stats for my study session, but the reason we use wing loading and stuff is because of the lift equation. We have lift equals, oh Jesus, 1/2 rho v squared CLA. And when we divide stuff around, we often end up with the lift over area, right? And that ends up making our equations easier, because in steady level flight, airplane, woo, in steady level flight, we have lift equal to the weight. And so our wing loading ends up being, I guess I should use S for area because that's what people do. Our wing loading ends up being a pretty important parameter outside of the context of like pulling G's and stuff.
Sure. So the load factor is only for like structural people.
The load factor is only for structural. The load factor
Okay. also
comes into account. No, I don't want to handwrite my MATLAB computer. In some of these scoring functions where we have this weight estimate code, which is meh. And also if we end up doing like not a typical balsa buildup is pretty useless because it's meant for a balsa buildup. But it comes into account when we...
Sounds pretty fake.
It's a little fake. The load factor comes into account in this code when we estimate the wing weight.
Is a little fake.
Yeah. Okay.
Scoring analysis is a lot of fake math until you get something that like makes sense, and then you can like check it and be like, oh yeah, no, that works. Which is why it's taken me a minute to figure out what the hell is going on. But yeah, the load factor comes into effect here for kind of just like a rough estimation for how much, yeah, basically a rough estimation for how much force you're going to need on the wing. And so a rough wing buildup to just get a ballpark weight.
Cool. Also,
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
load factor, that's like how many G's you're pulling in a turn. And so it's going to be how strong the wings and everything else needs to be. Because if your wings are only good at steady level and then you try to turn and then there's more stress in your wing and your wing claps.
Yeah. For 121, first of all, I don't 100% know what you guys are doing with 121 if you guys are actually making stuff. But if you guys are making the gliders for 121, have a continuous spar so that your wings don't snap.
Affirmative.
They
Learn that
do
one from
give that
experience.
advice, but follow it. What, Jake? I'm sorry.
If I remember correctly, you learned that one from experience, Laird.
No, mine snapped on crashing because our
Close enough.
yeah, we did different bad.
Yeah, I always remember in designing planes, different is bad.
Indeed.
Unless you want your wing to snap.
It's true. That could be a design feature. You
It's
never
a
know.
rapid disassembling aircraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if you want a slow takeoff speed, then once you accelerate past a certain point, the tips fall off.
Yeah, I think that's a good move for.
We're getting dangerously close to a blade of wing territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the slip wing thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing that I've been working on, more so before the beginning of the year, because I've been sidetracked by scoring analysis stuff, is, what the heck? I guess these my propulsion modeling, where for this I am never mind. I'm not going to run this because I have everything set up for scoring right now. But preview for what we'll talk about at the propulsion meeting on Wednesday if you guys are interested. Much code, which if you guys don't know MATLAB, I can probably use propulsion as like a jumping off point to get you started with that stuff. Yeah. Ooh.
That was a little more involved than updates usually are.
Indeed.
Does anyone else have anything to share with the class?
No, nothing on my end. Jake, anything on your end?
My end is dead.
Okay.
Me too.
And
Are you-
Sam,
Do y'all have like planned new tasks? Anybody?
Something, start the proposal.
I'm not sure we have any content for that, but I believe in you.
Exactly.
Didn't you say you were interested in AVL? I'm not
Yes.
sure if you could start learning that before Laird's finishes scoring analysis. Like do
Probably.
planes or like analyze what happened last year. And then I'm not sure if it was Cody or somebody else who wanted to also jump in on that. But yeah, if you find the time, getting familiar with that before we need to use it would probably be good news.
Yep.
Johnny, do you know what you want to do on the technical aspect of the team this year?
I'm trying to move around time to help out Laird with his stuff. I just haven't achieved that goal yet.
Yeah, no, it's rough. It's rough starting out.
But Laird, aid is on the way. So
Less. Yeah, if you want to have a,
you and I should have a meeting like tomorrow, okay?
maybe. I will also try to do time to figure out time. We can.
I'm gonna send you a picture of my schedule, and you tell me when you're free and when I'm free, okay?
All right, sounds good.
So we'll figure that out after this meeting.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is that everything for general? I think it is.
Sounds like it's SolidWorks time.
SolidWorks time! Who else sticking around? Or I guess goodbye to everyone who's not.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I still need to sort out a computer system that I can actually run SolidWorks on.
Oof. Did you
So
do you have a Mac or something?
Well, I'm running Linux on this, and also it's a kind of old laptop.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just cheap with computers.
I know you can remote desk
Gonna have to.
to some of the lab computers,
Yeah.
and I think you can do that with any type of computer if you figure out how to do that.
Can you do that from off campus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake knows
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Well, I don't use the stuff that they have set up with the lab computers, but it's definitely available. The resources for it, I think, are on the Arrow website.
Okay, yeah. I'll go have a look at that.
Yeah, we could probably find a link and then post it in the chat. But if you wanted to head out tomorrow, we're recording, or head out, not tomorrow. We are recording this, so if you wanted to go back through it afterwards, totally chill in it.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, and you can post any questions in Osif Hours channel or DM me directly in the Slack. So
Yeah. Yeah, thank you all.
thanks for coming.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm curious about what Cody's doing.
He's taking us on an adventure.
You've been moving around this whole meeting.
I saw Isaiah. That was fun.
Oh, is he living with Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, based on their FlowViz video, I would hope so.
Isaiah
Yes,
just
and he said hi to you, Jake.
Isaiah just broke into Cody's house just to film
Yeah.
the
Just to-
FlowViz.
Just
And then
to-
he did it again to bomb this meeting.
Yeah, he keeps making cameos.
Okay, does everyone have SolidWorks up and running?
Should we open part or assembly?
It'll be a new part, I think.
You could always just flex and make an assembly and then make a part inside it, though.
I mean, that's not flexing, that's just how you do it for complex assemblies, but
Oh,
Think-
complex as in top down.
well, yeah, but top down is only useful for certain kinds of assemblies. If it's just like two parts together, you're probably not gonna benefit from a top down. But you do you, bro.
To answer your question, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I guess I'll start screen sharing then. So if you missed it, last week we didn't get around to starting on the actual pliers tutorial because nobody had SolidWorks, because everyone's a noob. So yeah, I just went over a brief overview, talked about all of the different kind of tools that you can use. Wasn't very in depth, but I was like, this is a revolve, this is a loft, these are things. So that's that. Okay. So this is what we're making. There's gonna be, how many parts do we have? Okay, I guess we've got 3-ish parts. So we're gonna start with this guy. So you can do new part. Oh, not new part. Remember when I emailed everybody the thingamajig? Did y'all get that email? With the part? Now I gotta
Did.
find where I put that.
And it said that it had like the other people's names included in the email because it was a group email.
I'm sorry I missed that, but does anybody let me know if you don't have the part? Okay, so is this what Yell's part looks like? I should make it so I can see everybody. Just a little bit slow about this. Okay. I'm gonna imagine that we're good to go. So I imported this image, and we're just gonna like kind of trace it to start out. Would it be useful if everyone screen shared? No?
I think everyone can at the same time.
Right.
It's
I did-
one per.
Yeah, just to know how y'all are keeping up. But okay, so this image is technically on a sketch, I guess. So we can just start a new sketch and on front plane. That's a good place to put it. So this origin point is at the pivot where they scissor, you know. So you can outline the pivot there. I'm gonna do another circle that like gets to that edge there, but I'm gonna make that construction geometry. So it's not gonna go all the way around. And I'm only gonna trace this part of the plier because you're just gonna duplicate that part later and it's all gonna be good to go. So we can make this arc starting at the center, and over here it shows you the different kinds of arcs and how you can use them. So this says first at the center, and then point, and then point, kind of. Is anyone confused yet? I'm sorry, was that a nod from
How
Larry?
did you cut around the edge of the plier again?
This arc?
Is that the first thing, or did we do something before that?
Well, I just made these two circles, and then this is construction geometry circle, and so it doesn't actually show up in the part. It's like for reference.
Oh, okay, I just thought I missed something, so I'm fine then.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, so how did you make it construction geometry? That's what I missed.
Oh, yeah. So, circle, and then the circle is currently selected because it's light blue, and then you can modify it over here. You can even set the geometry or the dimensions over there, but nobody uses that. So,
Cool.
yeah. And then we're gonna do the same thing, trace it over here. Okay. And then this isn't perfectly head on. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that until I started working with it. But we're gonna call that the top. And just kind of follow along with the shape as best you can. It also doesn't have the handle, so you gotta freehand that. Oh, also, when you're drawing straight lines, you can come off of the point, and it's gonna start to make a straight line. If you bring it back to the point, it'll make a tangent arc. So that's something. That's a good time. Yeah, that's a good place to put it.
Can you repeat that tangent arc thing?
Yeah, so it's just a quick little bit. You can do the arc and then set the tangent, but it's a little bit quicker. So you draw a line and then you put your point down and you go to draw another line and you like, just kidding, and you bring it back and that is an arc.
Interesting.
Hot tips by Becca. Okay, and we can keep tracing. That's the moral of the story. You're gonna want these parallel unless you want your thing to be janky. Oh, why is it? Okay, so you click, control, click, parallel. And then we can line this up to center line is another way of accessing construction geometry. I'm gonna set these two perpendicular to line up those points. Oh, go back. I lost my pretty picture. Maybe that's what I want. So usually you would have like better geometry than this, and these dimensions would be important, but for the sake of it, we're just tracing. I don't think it's important to you know, do this stuff. Okay, so if you wanted to manually do the tangent arc, because I let go of that point, so I'm gonna have to do the arc here, and then we want these two to be concentric. To line them up. Oh, dang, no. He's not happy about that. Let's try it again. Okay. And then for good measure, let's put another one on the end. It really is easier working with a like a quick bit little trick there instead of what I'm doing. Okay, pretty handle. How are we doing? I don't know if everyone's caught up or a little bit more time or what.
How did you get the like the circle at the end of the handle to line up with everything else? I missed that.
Yeah, so I just put another arc on it, and then you want a tangent to both of the lines. Matthew, were you the one that said you've already done CAD before, but not SolidWorks?
Yeah, only done Inventor.
Oh,
A bit on shape.
you were quiet. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I only done Inventor and a tiny bit on shape. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How's it carrying over? Is it, well, we haven't done too much yet, but.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just like trying to get used to all the different controls and stuff. Cause like I'm used to using like D for dimension real quick and
Sure.
a bunch of different constraints that it's hard to find for me right now. So just getting used to it.
Mm-hmm. There's a modeling program that comes with ANSYS that I was showing with the CFD earlier. So ANSYS is like kind of umbrella program, and then you can open up different kinds of programs within it. I'm solid modeling, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how to use it because I've only ever done SolidWorks, and they want theirs to be like visually intuitive and stuff. And so instead of like extruding and setting a dimension, you're supposed to like drag things, and it, I can't handle it. But then if I want to modify my study, I have to edit the geometry in the modeler that they have, or else I'll have to completely restart with new geometry, you know. It's an ordeal. I should figure it out, but I haven't. Everyone feeling good? No, not yet. One nod. See, I really have no idea how long this takes because it's been a, yeah. I guess I technically started doing this 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And I've spent way too many hours looking at it. So, oh no, just kidding. Wait, yeah. Okay. Hold on. To fill this space, somebody I think intentionally had their sound on during one of my lectures today, and it was I think it might have been like a TikTok or something. There was this lady and she's like, 2020 has like the lowest school shootings so far or something. It's like way down from previous years. And some kids like, that's because there ain't no school or whatever. What are they gonna shoot up the Zoom meeting? And everyone was like so shocked. Nobody had anything to say of why somebody was playing memes in class. The professor didn't know what to say. I guess that wasn't really a funny story, but is there a chat? Chat. Okay. I thought Johnny was gone. He said he was gonna leave, but I guess he's still here, isn't he? So can I move on? Are we all good? Can I get a thumbs up or a yay or something? Or else I'm gonna move on. So the next thing we don't actually want to detail this nose because we're gonna do that in a loft. But I'm gonna extend it out here, right? And make sure it's horizontal. Oh yeah, so if you want to be quick about it, the pop-ups of what you need always come up to the right, so use that. Because you can go all the way to the dialogue over here, but that's slow. So that's just going to set the point where the loft is going to end. I guess we need to close this shape. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's how I did it, but...
How did you get that line to come out so fast?
Which line?
The construction line with that one.
What do you mean?
Where did it come from?
Line.
Did you just make a line? Okay, cool. Never mind. I thought that was the thing you said. It comes out to the right, and there's like a button to click. And I was confused.
No. I was talking about I was making it horizontal in the horizontal there. It's like, no, so in the new version of SolidWorks, you can actually send brain signals and then pop up.
I was wondering, yeah.
It goes over there. Gotcha. And then you just like check the checkbox. You're like, yes.
That's the power of 2021 SolidWorks, Slade.
Oh shit! No, I'm not.
Shit, I got the old version.
I forgot to update mine, so I'm not even on the new version anymore. But okay. So also, does anyone see anything wrong with this sketch?
Needs more dimensioning.
There's 0 dimension. So the blue means not dimensioned. It'll turn black once it's totally fixed. So I'm gonna see if I can fix everything. Did it work? Oh,
Sounds like a big burden.
I'm a cheating McCheaterson. I just told everything to fix. So usually that's terrible design practice for anything you're gonna try to modify. Every time you're working with your SolidWorks, you wanna be thinking about like which dimensions you're probably gonna wanna change later in later iterations. And so, yeah, no, you want to do it good. A lot of people will say just dimension everything off of the origin, but you should dimension everything off of what makes sense. Dimension by geometry rather than numbers when you can. But since this is just a pretty picture that we're making, what I did, if you missed it, I selected everything with this, and then relations are over here, and then I just said fix, which is cheating, but what we're doing today. All good? Now it's for the exciting time. So we're in this sketch tab thing over here, ribbon, I don't know what they're called. We're gonna switch over to features. And since we're still in this sketch, you could exit the sketch and go to features, or if you go to features, it'll automatically input the sketch instead of having to say, oh, I want to work with sketch 3. They say, oh, you're working with sketch 3. I see. We're going to do extrude boss, which is just like the most simple. It's like a rectangle, you know? So we're going to rectangle that. So I'm going to do mid plane because symmetry reasons. If you make your planes in funky places, then you want to save time later with like mirroring things. You want to have a plane that you can mirror it about. So if it's going to be symmetric or like mostly symmetric, mid planes are good. It's not always necessary or important, but when you specify mid plane and then you do the dimension, that's the like full depth, not like the halfway, you know. I don't know, what does 0.25 look like? Sure, why not? 1/4 of an inch. Also, you can see your unit system down here, inch pound second, and you can change it from there. But if you forget and then try to change it later, it will change all your dimensions in the inch. So, are we all to here? Y'all know it's saving time. Control S that bitch before SolidWorks crashes, because it really do crash. When I was on robotics, the assemblies would be like immensely huge, especially if you're working with the assembly that had electronics on it too. You always suppress.
That was rough.
It's impossible. So yeah, and there were like these, we worked on all the laptops that HP wanted to throw away. And we would work in this guy's garage, and I live in Idaho, so it'd be freezing cold in the winter, and it's like non-insulated, non-heated garage. So we'd be sitting in there and the fans would be blowing and it would be so hot and we'd warm our hands next to that. It was insane. That was a disaster. And I'm glad I have a computer that works now. Okay, so now that we're here, this is no longer helpful. So we're just gonna, it's on sketch 2, I believe. So we're just gonna right click sketch 2 and then say, go away. Now we can't see it anymore. So that's different from suppress or delete. That's just invisible. Okay, now we want to make the nose. Oh, maybe I should keep that up for a second because I messed this one up last time. The first time I made it, I made the nose upside down, and so they wouldn't go together because I'm an idiot. Okay. So we're gonna want the flat part on top. Okay, we can remember this. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so Control 8 gets you head-on view. So now we're gonna want to start a sketch on this plane. So that little nice dialog box to the right, that's good, the sketch. And then we wanted an arc. So this arc is gonna start on the midpoint. So I selected that. So it's doing good things. When it lights up all orange like that, it's making relations. Then we want this to fill the whole space. And then you gotta close it, even though this line is there. So just to be extra about it, we could go convert entities and grab this line. Check. Now it highlights this because it knows it's a closed shape. So that's if you want to use convert entities, or you could just connect it with a line. But How are we feeling? Nice head bops. Okay. Is everyone to hear if you need me to? I really don't know because I can't see your screens. Does Matthew disappear? Where'd he go? Oh, he says I have to go. Bye now, Matthew. Okay.
How did you size that arc again?
What?
What determined the size of that semicircle?
Yeah, so it's just semicircle and then I made it tangent to the edges.
Oh yeah. Whoop.
So example of dimensioning without numbers. Yay. So that'll update if I change like the thickness and everything. So that's what I want it to be. Yee. Okay. So that's a good sketch. We're just gonna keep it like that because we are gonna loft it. So we need the other loft sketch. Let's make this sketch. So you have the feature right here and you click that little arrows, you got the details. We're gonna make that sketch visible because we need something from it. Okay, watch this part. We're gonna go up at the top, insert, reference geometry plane. Okay.
There's also a button for that in the features menu. I like the features toolbar.
What did you say it was? Oh, it's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know where everything is.
I'm sorry, I totally was not looking.
Laird was
I
zonked.
literally prefaced it with, okay, watch.
I was in the middle of something.
He was in the middle of not watching.
Exactly.
Okay, so the regular location is in features all the way to the right over here, reference geometry. Otherwise, you could go up here, insert, reference. Pay attention.
For anyone who hasn't noticed yet, everything in the toolbars is also available in the menus. And if you find it in the menus, you can add it to a toolbar if you end up using it a lot.
Mm. Clever. Okay, so references. I never actually learned how these references work, so don't ask me. I just guessed. So we want it to be at the end of this point here. Oh, look, it did it. Nope, it didn't do it right. Now I'm gonna say, what if it looked like, that one? Now I think it's right. Ta-da! Yeah, I don't know the actual logic that goes on that makes the planes or the references. Jake, do you know about that? Is there like an
A little. It just kind of prioritizes what the most obvious relationship between the things you pick are. So like the way I just did the exact same thing was I picked the point and the line that the point was on, and by default it selects a plane that contains that point and is perpendicular to that line. But you can kind of tweak it however you want. You could have also made it by like if you didn't want to have something to click on and you just wanted it a distance, you could pick any of the original planes or any other plane that's facing the same way, like the one we drew the other sketch on, and just put in a distance. So you can combine a bunch of different things that are either like things you've already added in or just numbers and make new features. And that works for all the reference geometry, which is under that menu.
right? But when you use the offset, that's like a fixed number, and
Yeah, usually.
with the length of this.
Although you can use variables and stuff, so
Sure, if you want to be like that.
if you're going that hard.
Cool. Yeah, I learned this informally. I do not know all of the things.
If you push all the buttons in SolidWorks, you'll eventually figure out what's going on. But eventually is a long time.
Right.
Speaking of not knowing what's going on, I am not here.
Laird, make a reference plane that's perpendicular to the nose line on the dot.
Okay.
Boom, done.
We're there. Okay, now we're gonna make a sketch on this plane. Click on the plane, sketch. Now we're just gonna do the same profile, but a little bit smaller maybe. Because it taper. Close that bitch. Now we actually have to define it. Well, we could just do what we did before, but I think 1/8 inch diameter, that's something. Could be smaller. Yeah. Ooh, I don't remember a 16th. Me not knowing my decimals. Why did that not change? Oh, 32nd. That's really small. Anyway, wasting time. Okay, so we've got 2 profiles. We're gonna connect those profiles with the loft. Also, I don't like this plane, so I'm gonna make it go away. Also, I don't need this sketch anymore. Go away. Okay. So features, loft, profiles, we're going from this profile to this profile. Okay, so these zebra lines show contour, curvature stuff, and mine did it right this time. Let me know if yours did not do it right, because when I made this before, it didn't do it right. If it doesn't do it right, you gotta give it a little more inspiration by giving it guide curves. So it has to fit the form to whatever curve. It can be 3D curve or whatever.
Sometimes it also just means the corners are in the wrong order and it's trying to like cross one side of the thing to another. And if you make a feature intersect itself, it doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was doing.
But that can be adjusted by the little green balls that pop up. They attach themselves to corners, and if you drag them around, they will usually snap to a different corner, and then it fixes itself sometimes.
Okay, awesome. I just made a guide curve and told it, bitch, listen to what
Bigger flex.
Okay, does everyone have their loft? Really not getting response. Okay, Laird's good to go.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now we've got this ugly bitch. Okay, so do we want to fill it now? No, we want to assemble it. Save that bitch. Okay, assembly mode, file, new, assembler. Now we're gonna insert, you can pin it if you're putting lots of them in. We're gonna put 2 of them in. Okay, and then we're gonna put another one in. And these are directions if you want to change the orientation right away. Oh, no, that's not how it goes. I guess my spatial thinking is a little, okay, that's what we want. Nice. So it's gonna fix the first one you put down. We don't like that, so we're gonna, are we all here? Okay, so right click this, so it fixed it. We don't want that, we're gonna float it. Now we're gonna mate all the planes together, because that's good practice. Front plane to front plane. And this is mating quick. It brings up a little dialogue. Yeah, top plane. Always mate by planes when you can. It's good. Good stuff. Okay, so now it's fixed in the way we want it. You try to move it and it says, don't, you can't move it. It'll also show you somewhere in the bottom here, I can't see it right now, but it'll say like fully defined or not based on your assembly, but that's not usually helpful because usually you're gonna have something that is supposed to move. Okay, we're gonna want these concentric. Gonna move, nah, I want that guy in front. Okay, so now we see that they're not gonna line up unless they're overlapping. Can anybody tell me how to make them overlap? Like physically, and not just be intersecting geometry. Hi, Johnny. How long have you been here?
The cutty cut thing.
Oh,
He's been here the whole time, but I think he's AFK.
oh, is he still gone? I done goofed. Okay. My question was, can anybody tell me how to make these, how we're going to adjust these parts so that they intersect, so that they're all lined up?
Two questions. One,
I had a question, Laird. You weren't paying attention.
yeah, I know you had a question, and I was paying attention. The question is about the question.
Okay.
Never mind. Sorry,
Excellent
I
question,
needed to stare at the part
Laird,
more.
you personally have proven that there are no dumb questions.
Fair enough. It's true.
Also, deep in that excellent question, there was a pretty good CAD nugget. Sometimes you just need to stare at the part.
Yeah. When I first mated these up, I even like saw ahead that they needed to overlap, but I did it wrong. And then I mated them together, and then they were all like sideways. And I was like, damn it. I guess I don't know how pliers work as a mechanical engineer.
Failed.
Anyway, don't have a job. Not engineer.
Yeah, so this is also what I have done, and I'm trying to figure out how to get to the other way.
What is what you have done?
I had them mated side by side and not overlapping.
Well, I didn't
I guess.
exactly tell you to mate them, did I? No, so we have to modify the parts so we can do this. You can't just mate them in place and pretend like it's fine.
That was the plan, though.
Nobody, Laird. We want these pliers to work. Also, they're no more fresh.
Optional.
It's me sad.
Fair enough.
This was literally for freshmen. Okay, it's fine.
Well, I am basically a freshman, so.
Okay, let me remember. Let's just go back to the part and think about it. Okay, so this is the one that's in front. And so we're gonna cut part of this. You see this rotation or circle? That circle exists because they're gonna rotate around each other. Hi, Johnny, glad you're back. So we're gonna start a sketch on this plane. Grab that center, match it there. I guess it's not fixed. Sometimes it lights it up and it's like, oh, I'm totally making a relation, and then they lie to you. Concentric. Oh, come on, please. Concentric. Why not? Oh, they're already concentric. Co-radial. Okay. And we're just gonna extrude cut halfway. So you could define it by numbers, or we could do up to surface, surface being its own midplane. Isn't that clever? Now we got this little recess where the other guy's circle can circle. Okay. Are we all good on that one? It'll make, oh, wrong one. It'll make more sense once we put them together, right? So now we can make these two surfaces coincident. Now they line up and they go like this. Oh, why are you fully defined? I thought it was the other one. Oh, I just did it different this time. Okay, that's fine. Cha, 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 cha. Right. Everyone there? Okay. Well, I'm only going to listen to the people that give me responses from here on out. So Cody's good to go. Okay, so we're looking at this and we want the pliers to work, but this is not how pliers work. So we're going to put a limit mate on it.
Maybe not your pliers. My pliers work like that.
John has the magic pliers.
Johnny, I didn't ask for your sass today. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're going to go to the mate tab right over there. Okay. Mate selections. Let's do, well, we could do the draws or we could do the planes. And since I'm preaching the gospel of plane mating, let's do the planes. Okay, planes. That wants to make them coincident. We do not want to make them coincident. So it's under advanced mates, and then this little thingy probably. So we want to set the small distance be 0 degrees, and the big distance be, I don't know, how big do pliers open up? 45 degrees maybe?
Never big enough.
Well, you can make yours open really wide, but when I first made them, when I made my first model, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, look, I made pliers," and she was like, "Those open too far." I was like, "Okay, Mom." So, there, ta-da! Now, closes, opens. Isn't that nice? If we wanted to be extra about it, how did we do this again? We could get rid of that. Oh, so this says little traffic signal. It's like, whoa, calm down. Control B, rebuild. Okay. So sometimes you'll put in like new numbers or new stuff and then it won't update the visuals for it until you rebuild. So I'm gonna get rid of that one, so I don't want it no more. And what I'm instead gonna do is, wait, I think this is maybe correct. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, no. I was gonna make it be horizontal and then you open it, but you know, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put it back. Okay. Anyway, all is well. I should save this. Okay. Are we good? I guess I wasted a bunch of time.
My pliers are opening backwards.
Success.
Like the top one, when I can't like open them up, I can only push them down.
Okay.
Like through each other.
I'm not sure.
You have to reverse the direction of your angular
That
constraint.
flips one of them.
Not
upside
the
down all the way.
whole, like there's two ways to reverse it. One of them switches which faces are trying to be next to each other, and the other one just switches which way they can move towards or away from each other. It might be called flip
Yeah, we're
offset
chilling.
or
That was
something
it.
like
Thank
that.
you.
Okay. And if you ever want to modify your mates and you can't find them, if this list gets really long, you can right click on your part and be like, what are all the mates over here? And then you can see the mates, and then you can be like, let's modify that one. Good times. So now we're going to be super baller and make a top-down assembly part. Just one. Because I have no idea what the dimension of this circle is, because I didn't set the dimensions. So what I'm gonna do, insert components, but the drop down, new part. This just puts it down somewhere. And then it makes, where'd it go? It makes a new part over here. Where'd it go? Oh, part 2. Okay, and then you can rename, and if it doesn't let you rename, that's something in settings, and I'm not sure I remember where it is, but it's in there. This is going to be the pin. Okay, so now we're going to click on this one and do edit part. You can also open the part, but we're going to edit it in assembly mode. So right over here, this part doesn't have anything yet, so we're going to make a little sketchy sketch. Sketch. It put the origin in the right place. That was a very nice thing of it to do.
Edit part is supposed to come up when you right click on the thing in features.
The what? You over here. You
Right
left
click there?
click. Yeah.
Okay, well,
You see it?
strange.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna make those co-radial because there are no tolerances. And then we can do features of that sketch, extrude that, shifts it over a little bit, so don't freak out too much. I'm gonna change that direction. Let's do up to surface because we love external references today. Now we have a pin. Oh, damn it. The plane started where I didn't think it would start. Okay, so we're gonna have to float that again because if you put something new, it wants to do the thing. Concentric. Now, also if you want to, oh, just kidding, it is the right size. I was gonna say it's not gonna be the right size, but if you want to see the distance between something, these faces, it comes up, this little zoom thing is in the way. Okay, normal distance, 0.125, or I added the hotkey. I don't remember how to add hotkeys, but you can look it up. I always do Control M. Why is that not coming up? Okay, yeah, and here's your measure thing. You can change what type of measurements. It's not relevant here, but you know, specify where you're measuring from. You could also do projections when you measure things. They'll give you the area and stuff, and then you can say project onto, and then you can click a face. I don't remember. I did this very recently once for a thing. So you can, yeah, okay. It's for like finding your frontal area for drag things and stuff. Good stuff like that. Are y'all bored yet? Okay, good stuff. Okay, so now we have functioning pliers. I guess we can make them pretty now. Do you want to make them pretty? We can go back into the plier part. Move that back down. Okay, so fillets. put them everywhere. Sometimes it doesn't want you to put them there. I think
You
that,
say fillet?
yes, fillet.
Legally, they're called fillets.
No, I believe they are in fact.
Legally,
No, they're fillets.
it's the law.
Yeah, so ideally don't have a million different, I don't remember how these fit together. Let me look at it again. I'm wondering if we can put fillets over there. We cannot because those close. Okay, if you want to fillet the heck out of your thing, if you can, keep the number of fillets to a minimum. But sometimes it'll be like, you can't fillet both of those edges in the same fillet because we can't figure it out. SolidWorks is dumb. Okay. Back to So it tries to autofill your fillets sometimes. That looks okay. Why not? Let's do it again over there. Oh, just kidding. No, I don't want to. I'm gonna mirror them after this. No, that won't work. That won't mirror it. This gets exciting sometimes. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. That's not too bad. I don't know what that's about. Well, that's something at least. How are y'all feeling about your fillets? Are they pretty?
That would be a bold statement.
It's fun making 3D printed parts because then you can like really fillet the heck out of those and just make them the roundest things you've ever seen in your goddamn life. Because otherwise they will very much break. Are we good to move on to the hard part? There's only one thing left, I think. I could just take a nap if y'all need time.
I'm chilling. I haven't, my fillets are weird, but I have done them before, so I can figure that out later.
Okay, sure. I just don't know how well this surface offset is gonna work if you don't have rounded jazz. It might be.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it'll probably work. It'll just be weird. It'll probably work. Okay, so let's do the hard part. Let's go back to assembly. No, that's the finished one. Ooh, that's interesting. I made it different before. Okay, if you see This one is super dumb because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking at the picture. That looks super dumb, doesn't it? Like, what's with that? What it's actually supposed to look like is that. So instead of having a semicircle, it was a semicircle with that rectangle added on the bottom there. So,
Well, the picture has it tapers down into the nose. It's not just a straight corner.
yeah, both of them are approximations, and all models are wrong. But yeah, what can you do? This is one option. It's not the good option. I like the other one better. Yeah, it's not a very good, it's not a lot of taper. The aesthetics of these are, oh, why don't you want to move? Oh. Did I do that wrong? Why is it not? Huh. Okay, so I guess when I drew this first little part, I didn't quite get that horizontal. Let me fix that. Is anyone else experiencing this? This little gap here. Well, I'm gonna go fix it. That'll be over here. So my first sketch. Ooh, don't do that. This might be difficult to modify since I fixed everything. Ah. Yes, this is why we don't fix things. Okay. So back to the assembly then. Is it still bad? Just in a different way? I don't know. Well, anyway. So we're going to insert a new part, put it down somewhere, and we're gonna rename it. Let's call this skin or grips or whatever, you know, the little red things, the little soft stuff. Also, if this were a real project that we were doing, we would want to be specifying all of the materials so that we can get the right CG and weight estimates and all that good stuff for all of the other calculations that people do. And you can do that in the part and then material not specified and then modify it over there. So it's a good thing to do. Okay, edit the skin. How did I do this? I totally don't remember how to do this, so I'll look it up. Surface 0 offset. Okay, so surface offset. Okay. Insert surface offset. Okay. Insert surface offset. Gorgeous. Okay, offset parameters are going to be all of the surfaces. So now it's fun times. You got to click all your surfaces. And the offset is going to be 0, and then we thicken it just like I was reading in the thing. If you're following along, SolidWorks forms. Mm. 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 Ooh, no, I shouldn't do that. I was thinking about making both sides of it in one part, but then it wouldn't move when the pliers move, I don't think. Where's that surface? I think that might be all of the surfaces, so I'm gonna click on that one. All good to go. You'll probably want to pay attention for this part. I'm gonna go over here in the right part. Pretty circle, appearance, solid color. Let's make them red. And you drag it, and then you say, I want the whole part to be red. Or if you want the feature to be red, you know, you do you. Okay, so since these surfaces were continuous, it did that. And I couldn't find a way around that, so I'm gonna do the thing that you should ideally never do. I'm gonna make an arbitrary shape and then cut extrude through the whole part. So it's a god-awful thing to do, but okay, so we're gonna make a sketch. We wanna yeah, okay. Shape, shapety shape. I'm just gonna make it really big in case. This is not what you should do ever. No, wrong one. I'm getting pretty tired. How about y'all? But we're almost done. We're so close. Okay. I can't access extruded cut for some reason. So, oh, also I need to thicken that. I don't remember how to do that. Okay. Insert boss base, thicken. Thicken parameters. This whole jazz. Oh, that was thick. That's too many C's. Still pretty thick. Merge result, why the fuck not? I don't know what it was doing before. Now we can access that extruded cut. And we're gonna use this sketch, and we're gonna go through all both directions because these are bad habits here. Now, I'm actually gonna define this perpendicular. Oh, no, that's flat. I've got to move. Wait, why can't I? Mm. Maybe that'll work. Oh. Anyway, I was gonna set that perpendicular to that, but I don't even care anymore. Because it's functional and you can modify things on your own goddamn time. You can also make the second one on your own goddamn time. Today's been a long day. Do we have any questions before I leave and eat food for the first time?
Yeah, so quickly, could you go over this whole thing again?
Yeah, Laird, you can rewatch the fucking video.
Yeah, I had to leave at the first sketch, so I'm gonna have to rewatch this. Thank you, Becca. I like how it looks.
Mm.
It definitely looks different than the first one.
That's what you get when you're winging it. I think I messed up, but that's okay. It's good enough. Good enough for something. Got some practice.
Oh yeah.
Throw that on your featured works on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Because you can put images in there. Nobody does that, but I have a whole bunch of images. Did y'all know about that?
Oh, are you all registered for the career fair?
Yes.
You have to register for it. I certainly did not do that.
You should. There's some interesting companies, or at least last I checked, which was a while ago, there weren't too many Arrow-y.
No, there's General Atomics,
Yeah.
Rocketdyne, like
I saw Raytheon, I think, on one of the days.
Northrop. No, Raytheon isn't there. It's only one day.
What? No, there's 2 days.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, there are
Really?
2 days, and Raytheon's at one of them. They just signed up late.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the emails that say when the certain things have like said they're going to the events, and theirs showed up like a week ago.
Wait, but like on Mustang Jobs, the Cal Poly Live Virtual 2020 Fall Career Fair, it just says Wednesday, October 7th.
That's because they're 2 separate events. One of them is on Wednesday and one of them is on Thursday, even though
So we
they're
have
both
to
career fair.
we have to register for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Raytheon Technologies just signed up to attend Cal Poly Live Virtual 2020 Fall Career Fair.
How do you tell them which companies you want to talk to?
That's what the registering is. So you register for like the individual companies, like I guess meeting things that you want to be at.
I hope there's like one-on-one.
You know what?
group.
Yeah, I think you can sign up
Some of them.
for that. Some of it's group, but you can sign up for one-on-one things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Got like 15 minutes to
Pitch yourself.
15
or to
15
or at
minutes.
least one of the ones I was looking at was like 15-minute chunks for the one-on-ones.
That's gonna be like 20 people.
Yeah. Well, they had like 5 different people from their company that you could talk to. So it was like
100 people.
100 people, yeah.
Do you see how you can put pictures in the featured? Isn't that? Did you know about?
I
All
did
of
not
my
know that.
work is visual.
Yeah.
Most of my SolidWorks is mad at me. Okay, well, that's all I got.
Thank you, Becca.
Yeah.
What thing did you do to make the pin again? I was vibing when you said that part.
The pin, I was in assembly, insert new components, new part, and then
Okay,
just
gotcha.
put it there and reference.
Roger that.
Okay. I think we could end the recording. Unless there's anything further we need to address the club.
I think so. Good. How do
Oh,
you?
if you are watching this, please fill out the when to meet
Indeed.
link on Slack. This is to determine what works best for the most people that want to participate in these activities. So it's in your best interest, if you would like to participate, to fill that out, because we'll be using that for this meeting, as well as our sub-team meetings, to determine when those will work best. And as a reminder, this Wednesday starting at 6:10, Laird will be hosting the first propulsion meeting. So you got that to look forward to this Wednesday.
Johnny pushing his propaganda.
Always.
It's like 80%
I
of
don't
his
know how
job.
to stop the recording.
You hit the record
Hit
button
stop.
again.
I do not see a record button.
Stop
Try
sharing. There
sharing
you go.
first. And then